importation of goods, services, right? How about anyone here actually hiring foreign worker in their company? Yes? Okay. So for foreign worker, you have to ask, this worker, do they have permit or without permit? So there's two questions here. Whether do they comply with the immigration laws here in Malaysia? If without permit, technically means that foreign worker is illegal worker. Correct? So if, let's talk about with permit. With permit, next you have to ask yourself, is the permit under my company's name? If yes, then they are your employee, captured under the payroll. If they are not under your name, it's under another company's name, so basically that company is supplying labor to you. By right, they should be issuing you E-Invoice on the supply of labor costs as a proof of expenditure. So the document here that we're looking at will be, the permit is under who? The foreign worker is under whose custody? Who has the responsibility to take care of all these foreign workers? If you tell me they do not have working permit, right? You can tell me outright they are illegal workers. Then in that case, you got no choice but to issue self-bill. Another risk will be immigration department might be able to pick up and detect when you do self-bill, because they'll be able to see all these individual foreign worker names. So they will decide whether they want to carry out spot check to your office, but normal office, I don't think that's the case. Construction site, yes. Who is running construction business? You know, when you visit construction site, that's when they'll carry out enforcement actions. You can see they will just dump out everything back to the lorry, deport them back to their own origin country. That's what they will do. But for normal office, I don't think immigration officer will do that. But something to bear in mind, if you do engage all these foreign illegal workers, you have to issue self-bill. All right? They will be considered as transactions with individuals who are not conducting business. Next, for accounting entries. Anyone can give me an example of accounting entries? Remember, I talked about review of P&L, right? Top line, I will have revenue, cost of sales, gross profit, other income, operating expenses. So under my operating expenses, anyone can tell me the type of accounting entries, accounting transactions that you know? Accountancy?
Depreciation.
Depreciation, yes. What else? Provisions. Provision for doubtful debts. Impairment.
Amortization.
Yes. Unrealized exchange gain or loss. If I have intangible assets, probably I have amortization of intangible assets. Those are accounting entry. It has no effect on the tax deductibility. Even though I've included in my OPEX, when it comes to tax computation, you will still have to add it back and subject to tax. So that's why under E-Invoice framework, accounting entry has no effect when it comes to E-Invoice. You do nothing. Because some people will be asking, I have provision for doubtful debt, should I issue self-bill or not? The answer is no, because it's pure accounting entries. You have to identify under your OPEX which are the transactions considered as accounting entries, exclude those out for E-Invoice requirements. Ignore that. Same thing, not required disbursement, which I mentioned already. So can this mind map actually give you a very good indications? What should you do when it comes to proof of expenditure? When should you request E-Invoice? When should you do self-bill? Right? So whenever you have doubt, uncertainty, unsure what to do, when it comes to proof of expenditure, refer back to this mind map diagram. This will give you a very good idea, indication what you should do. And this is the snapshot. Basically, I put everything that we have discussed into these two buckets. All right? So under income, in general, we have to issue E-Invoice. So for sale of product, it will be like business sales, sale of scrap, get on disposal of fixed asset. This will be under my other income. Then remember, I have this other income received from foreigner. I need to issue E-Invoice, right? When this is income, revenue in nature to you, and the counterparty is a foreigner, automatically you issue E-Invoice. Clear? So again, I might receive commission income. Same thing. You remember I talked about the 9 prescribed circumstances for self-bill? This one you are at the seller column. You did not issue any invoice, just request a copy of the self-bill. That's it. Commission income, insurance claims, interest income, e-commerce, dividends. Of course, right now dividend is exempted for single tier and also public listed company.